where you're talking about Trump's position on authoritarian leaders. This is something where President Trump has been pretty consistent even since he was candidate Trump. And he's been consistent both in the words he's used about himself. Remember at the RNC, at the Republican convention, when his big line was, "I alone can fix it," which is not the kind of a line you would have heard from Ronald Reagan or George H.W. Bush or other well-known Republicans. It's the kind of line you would hear more from a Suharto or Fidel or, you know, some other authoritarian leader. So I thought it was very striking during the campaign. One of the most interesting polls was one out of the University of Massachusetts that showed that the single most clarifying reason that people were likely to vote for Trump in the primaries was not income, race, religion, or anything like that. It was actually whether they had a more authoritarian mindset. So I think that goes some way to explaining the president's warmth towards, for example, Sisi of Egypt and the things that he said about Duterte of the Philippines and Kim Jong-un. That one is quite surprising, I have to say. And I bet that there are some people within the Trump administration who are knocking on his door and wanting him to re-say that a different way, perhaps tomorrow.
I want to go to something else the president said yesterday. And, Charlie, I think this is going to come as a surprise to a lot of your Republican Wisconsin friends about the president. He said that he's willing to give up certain things in trade negotiation with China in order to get their cooperation with North Korea. He never mentioned this during the campaign when he was talking about how tough he was going to be with China. He never said, you know, maybe I'll go easy on them on trade in exchange for something else. Let's listen to this.
And if I can use trade as a method to get China, because I happen to think that China does have reasonably good powers over North Korea. Now, maybe not, you know, ultimate, but pretty good powers. Now, if China can help us with North Korea and can solve that problem, that's worth making not as good a trade deal for the United States, excuse me, right?
Charlie, it's worth making not as good a trade deal for the United States.
It's almost as if he's making it up as he goes along. You know? I mean, what a dumb time to be alive. I mean, you know, in one day, I think we've achieved peak Trump ignorance and incoherence at the same time.